So, keeping with my tradition of forgetting to watch movies until they're about to expire on Filmstruck, tonight's movie was one that expires on the 7th. So, you all have 5 days to watch it. And then you have to track down it on DVD because it will be gone from the service. And that is a Czechoslovakian film. I have practiced the name a few times. I'm still going to say it wrong. Please forgive me. It is Marketa Lazarová, and it's directed by František Val. I already messed it up. I did it 10 times right. Vlad Vláčil. Vláčil? No, Vláčil. It's a hard K. It's a hard C. Vláčil. That's wrong too. I listened to the special features to try to figure out how to say it right, and I still said it wrong. Oh, I tried. Anyways, the film is called Marketa Lazarová. I can say that correctly. And it was voted the best Czech film of all time. However, in my opinion, of having seen 3 Czech films, my favorite is still Daisies by Vera Chytlano. I can't say her name either. Anyways, Daisies. This is based on a novel by Vladislav Vankura, and however, it is loosely inspired by, and it's a very, what's the word I'm looking for? Non-linear adaptation and interpretation of the material. It is 165 minutes long. It's a lot of movie. Apparently, in the American release, which came out almost 10 years after the original release, it was edited down to 100 minutes, and it was barely comprehensible at 165 minutes. I can't imagine what slicing half the movie out could have done to this film, but make it even more incomprehensible, I think. It's set in a very cold winter in the 13th century, I believe, in Czechoslovakia, and there are pagans, and there are Christians, and there are people wearing chainmail, and there are virgins, and there are women are chattel, and either they get married or they become nuns, and that's all there is. And for a movie named after the main girl, she's not in it that much, and it's mostly about men. So I really thought I was going to get a lot more of that character. And actually, there are 2 main women, Marketa and Angel. I can't pronounce anything anymore. Alexandra. I should be able to pronounce that. They're the 2 main women, but they are ripped from various places in their lives and treated poorly by everybody. And at one point, one character is brutally raped, stolen from her family, brutally raped, and then falls in love with the guy who did it all. And I find that very hard to watch. And you can tell me that, like, Stockholm Syndrome, and you can tell me that, like, it was the 1300s and women did whatever, but, like, I'm still not going to like it. So what I will say about this film is that it was very cinematic, and I appreciate that about it. I may not have liked the story, and I may not have found anything in the characters worth watching, but I found the filmmaking worth watching because it's cinematically something that could only exist in the form of cinema, and I appreciate when films create something that is so unlike any other art. It's so beautifully shot. The cinematographer was Beda Batka, and he is actually, wow, the cinematographer is still alive, and he teaches at the Tisch School of Arts. I can't imagine learning under this guy. He is 95. He can't be teaching anymore. He's 95. What? It says he teaches. He's got to be retired, right? He also shot Little Darlings. What? Wow. Okay. Well, anyways, this movie is so beautifully shot. It's so liquid and languid and filled with life. And the camera will sort of pan in towards people in conversation and then sort of pan away and then pan back. And it follows people and then it doesn't follow people. And then it will, like, smash from, like, this long shot to, like, boom, someone's eye. And it's all shot and edited so beautifully. The editor was Miroslav Hajdik. I can't pronounce these Cyrillic names. It's beautifully constructed and beguiling to watch. Whether you can get into the characters or not, every image in front of my head was beautiful, and some of the best shots of wild dogs I've ever seen. Like, did they train these dogs? I really want to know. There were so many dogs that were like dog wolves. A lot of dog wolves. A lot of beautiful trees. At one point, there's this big, like, flood that's happened, and they're all in this swamp, and there's all these people just walking around in a swamp, and I was like, how are you not all freezing to death right now? Like, the actors. There was this one scene where most of the action takes place like right here with the characters, but in the background there's this entire like um stampede of people going that way, or going, I can't even do it with my arms, going that way in the frame. It was just so beautifully framed that I couldn't handle it. So I see, like, in terms of its technique, why it would be considered such a landmark film. And I'm sure it was really a lot of, like, it must have been hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and weeks of filming to make this film and to put it all together. I just wish that a film named after a female character would actually let the woman do any of the talking. She barely talks at all. Neither does the Alexandra character. There's a woman towards the end that gets to talk a little bit. She's, I think, an abbess at the nunnery, and that's about it for women talking. And I'm like, yes, I know, 1300s, women were treated like shit, but, like, it's fiction. So fictionalize me a woman who can speak. I don't know. That's all I really want out of movies, is women who speak. Because they spoke, even when they were treated poorly, they spoke. And I just want some lines for my ladies. That said, the actress who plays the titular character, who's got another name that I'm going to butcher, oh my god, where is it? Magda oh, Jesus. Vazarylov is quite stunning and really bewitches the camera. Even though she never gets to speak pretty much at all, her face does a lot of speaking, and her face shows a lot of emotion and shows all of the sort of strife that her character is going through with her family and with this man who's stolen her. I can't really explain the plot, because the plot goes all over the place, but really the main thing you need to know is that there are two sort of families that are against each other, and there's various people attacking each other and or trying to steal each other's stuff, including their women. It's very apparently true to the historical times. It's kind of like, if you can imagine Andrei Rublev, but like on speed. Like, that's what this film is. Because Andrei Rublev sort of is very languid, and I've said languid twice now. Very deliberately placed, and sort of takes its time to tell its story. And this film is just like story everywhere. Lots of quick cuts, lots of confusing action. It's definitely one I probably want to rewatch, even though I didn't like the characters. I think with a film this densely plotted and edited, that probably the more you watch it, the more you can get on its level. And then perhaps I'll find layers to the characters and enjoy them more. Or I'll hate them more and get more bitter about the fact that the women don't get to speak. I don't know. We'll see. But if you want to watch it, it's on Filmstruck right now. There's also a Blu-ray and a DVD from Criterion. There's a lot of great special features talking about the restoration of the film and how the film was made and the adaptation from novel to film. So there's a lot that you can watch about this film and learn from it. And I cannot believe the cinematographer is still alive. He is 95 years old. That is fantastic. This was Marketa Lazarová. It's from 1967. And I'm sort of yes to the filmmaking, no to not letting women speak. Those are my thoughts on this film.